I remember so vividly pulling up to the school, and the school building itself was, it wasn't really anything remarkable. There wasn't anything remarkable about the building, but what was remarkable was once you entered the doors, you could, or I could feel the weight of Aunt Shirley and her history as a dancer and as a performer, because the hallway was lined with portraits of previous performances, old and new, things, history from many different performances. And so Sammy Dyer, was a family affair. And the secretary was also one of the former dancers. And I remember many of the instructors were also former students and former performers who worked under my Aunt Shirley. And so it was a very intimate feeling walking in. And the smell of the building, it smelled of young children sweating, whatever that scent is, and it's kind of sweet to remember that. I remember uh, dance shoes. The slippers had a specific leather smell to them. And then later, while I was working at the Whitney Museum as an instructor, I realized that when I was looking at some of the artists, such as Roman Beard, yeah, I was like, oh, Bronzeville. I learned of that area and where Aunt Shirley's school was, and so it was a big moment for me. It just kind of hit me because whenever I was little, I didn't, without the sign language communication, uh, happening in my family. My mom and dad, my sister signed with me, but what happened was a lot of the proper nouns and names of places and people, those kind of slipped through, and maybe that was mentioned one time in finger spelling, and then we referred to that place as pointing, and so Robert, uh, and then for the rest of my time there, it was just pointing, and I would forget the name of what and so it's kind of hazy, a little vague with names.